We're live. Oh, boy. What a race. I mean, I don't even know what to think at this point. I mean, look at the steam coming off Larson's back. What a race. What a race. I mean, listen, to be completely honest, I needed Truex. I needed to stay green. I think Truex, we all would agree that Truex would win that race. Truex wins if it just stays green. Oh, boy. That was stressful. And I was the only, I guess I just have to be happy. Just hold all the races at Kansas. I agree, Big Ross. Truex wins if it stays green. I think that would have been amazing. I'm not going to lie. Kyle Busch is a hack. Oh, Johnny, I agree. Gosh, just let it all out, everybody. Just let it out. If you had Truex, just let it out. Just let it all out, because that, holy cow. Yeah, I mean, the best track by a mile. I mean, my hair, like, I've been pulling my hair out. That's why it looks like this. I figure this is just the best way to do the post-race NASCAR show. What a race. Oh. Well, I got green behind me, so that's good. My guy, Noah Gragson. My guy. Finishing top 10. That's all I needed. Yeah, I know. Big Ross texts me. Big Ross texts me with, I don't know, 10 laps to go, and it's just like, Truex has got this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't say don't jinx it. I actually didn't think he had a chance, but then as guys were saving, I was like, holy shit, dude, Truex does have a chance. And then the caution, that Kyle Busch hack. Can't stand him. It was like 20 to go. Too much on Larson. Well, wow, 16 to what? Larson 16 to 1 before the final restart? Wow. You had Bowman at Daytona, Blaney and Busch at Atlanta, Buescher 70 to 1 at Kansas. Yeah. Yeah. Poor Buescher. And the team thought he'd won. What a joke. I have a oh shoot. I gotta send a different copy. I got a guest coming on here. Let's see. Oh man, what a race though. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to start. So hopefully Rob, when he comes in, I got Rob Perez coming in to join us. Old at Worldwide Wob. We're going to get Wob on here. Oh yeah. He texted me as soon as the race got over. He said, send the link. So without further ado, our closet NASCAR fan, Rob Perez, that immediately after the race was over said, send me a link. I want in. Oh my gosh. What a race.
Am I on?
You're on. You're live.
Bro, first of all, memories of Eldora, of Kyle Larson sending it into the wall without any suspension, and he's trying to get to the finish line, just riding the wall. It was the Hail Melon, but for like 8 laps back then. I don't think he ended up winning that race.
He did, and I think Bubba Wallace won that race that you were talking about when he didn't have like a right rear quarter panel.
It was the epitome of checkers and wreckers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a minute since we've seen someone exactly like, sorry, I got a little bit of an echo here. Since someone sent it in like that before.
Yeah.
I know you're steaming over Martin Truex going 4 tires.
Truex was a guy I needed. But
what is with every strategy every single time they take 4 tires? It almost worked, but it didn't, because Chase Elliott beat him to the line.
I know, third. Yeah, he got 4th. By the way, he got 4th, and the only thing that could have been worse than Larson would have been Elliott, because at least I had a little on Larson. Oh my gosh! But ESPN bet, I was saying it was ESPN bet had Larson 16 to 1 before the final restart.
What?
Yeah. That's what I just read on here. Yeah.
I mean, are they offering like dollar wagers on that?
Limits are 15.
Like lotto ticket wagers?
Yeah.
I mean,
Elliott finished third. Man.
Larson in any situation like that. All right, sorry. I was just trying to put this out there so people can see it. Okay. First of all, the 4-tire strategy. When you know every single driver's going 2. When has a 4-tire strategy? You know this better than I do. When has a 4-tire strategy ever worked in overtime that was not a 2-mile track?
Yeah, I would say, gosh, the last time 4 tires would
or road course. Those don't qualify.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to have been like a Darlington or Homestead. Would have been it. I kind of wanted. I actually wanted 4 for. I wanted one of my guys to take 4. Hear me out. I wanted one guy to take 4 that I had. So the fact it was Truex, whatever. I had Kyle Busch, I had Truex, I had Larson and Hamlin. After it was all said and done, if there's one caution, Truex wins. So like I wanted someone on the 4-tire strategy, just so that way I would feel good about having, just in case there was a caution. Okay. That's it. Because if one caution, Truex wins.
Okay, but small strategy works because Larson and Buescher are wrecking. If we run that simulation 10 times, they're wrecking 7, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They should have. I mean, that Larson was able to squeeze by that, and then it forces Buescher down to the apron, and it's the banking that almost works as a Nos cannon to get Larson to the finish line. In that final, it's the smallest margin of victory ever.
Yeah, they actually say
coming down the banking.
They come down the banking on the apron. Like at Daytona. What they actually do is at Daytona, to get more speed coming to like the line, they'll drive down the hill. And that's exactly what happened.
He might as well have been parallel to the banking there. And it's the most Larson shit in the world. And it's why he's the best wheelman on earth. For little things like that. Because he was beat going up to the wall, he was beat in that moment.
He was until he got to Buescher's right rear quarter panel. It was like, oh boy, Buescher better get back to the gas right now, because that would have been trouble.
Okay.
I mean, they're lucky to get to finish 1-2.
Yeah, they should have wrecked. I mean, I was sitting there rooting for Truex too. I've got futures on Truex. I got Truex today, and I'm like, just Truex, avoid this. I don't need to see William Byron like go crawling by to like win this matchup. But Truex going 4 tires, of course, he's the only one who goes 4. That it almost worked, and he was a fucking rocket ship there in the final 20 laps. Do you think if that stays green, Hamlin has enough gas, and does Truex get by?
I think Truex wins because I think Hamlin's trying to save. I mean, I was listening to the radio, and it was James Small saying, "Don't go. They're saving." And I could hear Chris, the crew chief for Hamlin, saying, "Hey, 80% throttle, like the whole time. Just don't." And so he was saving. It was 0.5 when the caution was thrown. 0.5. And so he had run from 3 seconds back, because with 20 to go, I got a message. It was like, "Hey, Truex can do this." And I'm like, "What are you, nuts?" And then sure as shit, everyone started saving. Larson said he had a corded right rear tire. And
there was lap traffic coming up there too, because
absolutely.
He had just passed Zane Smith with Austin Dillon was next up. And I'm like, fucking hey, keep Austin. I've got a big matchup here with Austin Dillon. I took that Austin Dillon versus Priest matchup big, and he just put Priest a lap down. So I'm sitting here like he's about to pass Austin Dillon. He's got no clean air. He's saving gas. And Truex, I mean, they know everything about the Hamlin team because they're both JGR.
Yeah.
So does he have a mole in the camp that knows that they're off the throttle?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be allies, but it didn't feel like it.
None of that. Inside 10 to go, there's no allies.
I mean it almost works against you to be trying to go against your teammate, because you have to worry about communication from the very top, trying to get Truex like guaranteed into the playoffs or something. What if JGR's like, let him know?
Oh,
what if Gibbs is like, let Truex know? He puts the Palpatine hoodie on. He's like, execute order 66 and like have him pass Hamlin, so we make sure we get all our cars in the playoffs.
Oh man, crazy. But it looks like the final rundown is Larson, Buescher, Elliott, Truex, Hamlin, Bell, Bowman, Kyle Busch, Gragson, and Michael McDowell. Noah Gragson coming in big time for me. That's the one thing I needed, was Gragson to finish in the top 10 and beat to Michael McDowell. That was my big
top 10 plus 350.
I got plus 292 on Tuesday or something.
That was my only loss. And then I went for it on the top 3. He had a good car.
He had a great car. When he took 2 tires, I was like, this is going to be a problem. He started fading, but he actually was going to finish in the top 10 before that caution came out. So good enough car. I mean, was he not the top forward? Chris Buescher, but where did that come from?
I was going to fade Buescher today too. I was. I mean, all the Buescher matchups were like guys that had the best practice cars.
Yeah, I mean, they never looked good, but he drove all the way up there too. It wasn't like there was
he got penalized.
Yeah,
on top of all this.
That's true. Yeah,
that's fucking insane, really, dude. He was so good that he could drive past Larson. I guess until the very end.
Wow. I mean,
getting a penalty.
How do you not love this sport relative to F1?
Well,
I mean,
Kansas is the best track. I mean, Kansas, Phoenix. Good. Kansas is so good. Kansas, Phoenix, Homestead. There's only so many times that you get true, like in the NBA world, when we have a game like the Nuggets and Wolves the other night, it's like elite fucking hoops. And you're just, no matter what team you root for, like, this is good hoop. This was good fucking driving.
Oh, it was great.
This was great driving.
Oh,
this was pure driving. You want it to stay green because the best driver's probably going to
Exactly.
Win. Right.
Exactly. That's why when it turned it, there's a bunch of cautions there at the beginning of stage 3. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? I was kind of soured by the whole thing for a while. I'm like, well, are we even going to get an indication of who's good? And then it kind of, the long green flag run, which the finish was going to work out great for Truex. I'd be, streaking up here in Squamish, but, I'll take it, profitable weekend. But great racing. Darlington's going to be the same. Darlington's going to be the same way, in my opinion. So we got a little bit to look forward to, at least. Got a little bit.
A great fucking race. First of all, what I texted you before, great product that if they would just start on time and find a way to be ducking like the worst time. This is the busiest month in tornado season. My meteorology minor comes through for something occasionally. The most amount of tornadoes are in the month of May in the Great Plains of the United States. Stop running races in tornado season in the middle of America. So we got lucky that we could turn this into a night race, and it's not a Monday morning start. But how many times does this shit happen? Trying to grow the sport, people got shit to do.
Yeah, and not everyone can just drink from 7 a.m. like I can till like, well, I'll just drink through it. I'll just this is like I don't even know. Thank goodness I got a bunch of these lone trees for my birthday on Friday. I mean, it's been a great day though. I mean, it could have been better, but I just ultimately have to enjoy the racing. It was awesome. But gosh, I wanted that Truex. I mean, 1 or 2 more laps, I think Truex gets it done. But I mean, I could sit here and
we could say that before the caution, and we can say that after the caution. We just
exactly.
one more lap.
Yeah, one more.
That's the fucking story of his entire career, and the guy's still a champion. So it's like I'm hating on someone that's already got a ring. I sound like an NBA fan. Just that they always make this decision to like always come up a little bit short just infuriates me because I'm always on Truex one way or another. He's always got the best number on the board. He's got the best future numbers. I look like him with my beard. Like it all works, right?
Yeah.
I'm just frustrated, and he's got to be steamed, especially after the way last season ended.
Of course, yeah. To dominate the regular season last year and then just fizzle out in the playoffs. Yeah, there's a couple. I got a question here. Gibbs. So Ty Gibbs pitted under green before the caution.
Saw that.
And then stayed out. So he took the wave around, went to 1 lap down. So if there was a caution, he would have been the last car in the lead lap, would have been the lucky dog. But yeah, Ty Gibbs was he was one of the idiots that took 2 tires in that last in the lap with 65 to go or something like that. And then just faded, went straight to the back. Him and Chastain, because Chastain was good all day. And him and Ty were they got freight trained and then never got back.
I watched the final 25 laps of what you're exactly talking about, because on my big screen, I was so invested in that Priest versus Dillon matchup. I'm on NASCAR.com you can click the individual cameras inside the windows, and I've got Austin Dillon's windshield on my full screen. And I'm watching, I go, what the hell is that? It looked like a bullet coming towards Ryan Priest. I go, is that Ty Gibbs? And I go left. I'm like watching the screen as he goes by as if I'm in the car.
Yeah.
Like 54? Where the fuck is he going? And then it's Ross Chastain that Priest is steaming by, and they almost wrecked horribly. As you didn't see it on the main broadcast, Denny Hamlin was coming for the lap cars, right? And just as he got to Priest, Ty Gibbs is 50 miles an hour slower than everybody else for no reason. They didn't even address it on Fox. And
no.
That was so close to completely blowing up this race. And then Ryan Preece gets out of clean air and he sinks like a rock. Here comes Chase Briscoe. Here comes Austin Dillon. And I'm sitting here I'm like, dig, motherfucker, dig. And watching them go by because it's just a static camera facing forward.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing you can do. I switch it
to the Austin Dillon cam and we're coming up on him. And then you dive low. And I'm like, oh, here it comes. And as soon as it's clear, it is a feeling.
Oh, dude.
Such relief when you clear.
Oh, my gosh. We like when you hear, because I'm always listening to the radio, it's a little ahead of the TV. When you hear door, bumper, clear, it's like, yes. Especially when it's for so much money. Like, you know, we're not betting peanuts here. Like, I bet money that I care about. I know you bet money you care about.
I know.
So one position makes such a big difference. And so what were your matchups today? What'd you have?
I had the biggest one was Dillon over because I got it at minus 120 before someone out there moved it to minus 190.
Yeah, whoops.
So I was like, why didn't I put more on it? And I would have just came over the top on Ryan Preece if I knew Chris was going to blast this off publicly.
I know.
So that one and Truex over Byron were the two big matchups.
Okay.
Everything else was like peanuts, but
yeah,
I went big on the Gragson top 3, which is a loss, but
yeah,
that's fine. And when I tell you again, how the mushroom cloud that was avoided by mere inches as Ty Dillon just took a nap in the car and took his foot off the gas.
I don't know. He must have had a cord or something because he pitted.
Yeah, he goes and then he just nosedives straight down to pit road. And I'm like, you almost just destroyed this entire race. And anyone that wasn't watching this camera would have no clue what just transpired. So what else?
That's the thing about NASCAR. That's why betting NASCAR is so great is because there could be a snooze. It could be a snoozer up front. You could have, Truex leading by 6 or 7 seconds, but you have Ryan Preece and Zane Smith battling it out for 28th and 29th. And you have, a couple $1,000 on a matchup. And you're just like, come on, you're watching these lap times. They're sure as shit not going to show it on TV. They're not going to be like, while they're not racing or, we're not going to show the leaders. We're going to go ahead and show the race for 28th and 29th because Worldwide Wob has $1,000 on Ryan Preece at minus 120. Boy, that number closed minus 190. I'm really glad you got that number, but the closing line value was there. He just couldn't make it happen.
You know what? To NASCAR's credit, they do a good job of making those cameras available. Like NBA is a comparison. Again, they do TNT overtime where you get 4 different cameras just following the players and the benches, and you can just stare at a specific thing happening. And they're doing that because of like player props. If you have an over on a player, it's a huge thing to have. But this NASCAR camera, just watching, especially in Kansas, when you're side drafting, there is no clear. There never is no clear at Homestead. There is no clear in Kansas because the moment that you clear, you're back in the draft, and then you're just fucking what's the maneuver called? The
crossover.
Zigzag.
Yeah, crossover. You're getting crossover. Exactly.
You're getting crossovered every 2 seconds, and then the leaders are coming below, and I'm like, I'm about to lose every single bet because of Ty Gibbs. Just like dropping,
I know,
dropping a rock through this lake that has just frozen ice.
Well, think about it. Kyle Busch spun and finished 8th. Like he had so much effect on the outcome of the race because he spins out. He's the reason for the caution with 6 to go. He goes back to 22nd, straps on 4 tires, and drives up to 8th place. Like it hardly even hurt Kyle Busch. Meanwhile, it took the race away from Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, and obviously Chris Buescher. Larson wasn't going to catch any of them. And you just get this random caution. That's why my buddies that are golfers are like, how you bet this sport, I have no idea. You could have someone with a 10-shot lead winning by 3 or 4 seconds, throw a caution, and then, we're just going to play 18 one more time. We're going to let the leader tee off from the ladies' tees, and then everyone else gets to play, by the way.
Yeah, and then it's Tin Cup where you put 10 in the pool and you lose in the lake and you lose your 8-shot lead.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of someone who faded back. I mean, you just look at Chastain, had a terrible run there towards the finish. No one really got shuffled back out of there that was going to have a good race, but there's a lot of times where someone that takes 2 tires ends up on the outside and they go from running in the top 5 all day. It's like, how's your 21st place finish? It's like, brutal.
And the thing you get with these overtimes is the only analogy I can think of is a giant battle scene in like a sci-fi movie when the main villain sends out all of his pawns first, like a Thanos just sends a bunch of these creatures, because you have guys like Todd Gilliland, everyone taking 0 and 2 tires because it's overtime. Like, we're going to go to the front, and they just clog everything up and they create these mushroom clouds. As a result of that. I mean, they have to do that because it's their only shot to win. But these resets, like Kyle Busch, just completely takes a deck of cards and just throws them in the air.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I think I still am kind of shocked. I thought 4 tires would win the race. I kind of thought there would be another caution with that many cars taking 2 tires. There's already multiple cycles on those left side tires. I kind of thought there was going to be a caution. So I was okay with, for me as a bettor, I want guys on both strategies, right? I was happy Larson, Buescher, and Hamlin took 2 tires. But then the gambler in me is like, okay, one guy needs to take 4, please. Just one. So that way I'm protected if there's another caution. So worked out well. Great race.
If there is that caution you're talking about, Truex is going to win easily.
Truex wins.
Easily. He's already in the top 4 if they spin before we get to the white.
Yeah.
And then Truex has 4 tires. It's over.
Yeah, he's outside of row 2, which he takes the leaders 3 wide, or he does the same thing if he's inside row 2, he takes the leaders 3 wide and he makes it stick, and I'm celebrating with my shirt off instead of with my shirt on. That's all.
So in the 15 minutes that we have shirts off, and I got a hoodie on because I'm just going like this and trying not to watch the whole fucking time.
I was just pulling my hair out. Like
I know. Look at this. I'm fucking mess up here too. So if now that I've had 15 minutes to think about it, the process versus the results, I guess the process theory for Truex was the correct play, because if there was that caution you're talking about, he wins. If there's one more lap, he wins. If it stays green, he wins. The only way he loses is if they
this
go
scenario
to overtime.
Yeah, a 2-lap overtime. That's it.
And it's just one run at it.
Yeah, that's it. So whatever, it's fine. I'm happy to win, because sometimes stuff like this happens, and then you get Chase Elliott winning, and there's a bunch of Chase Elliott fans that don't know what they're talking about that are really happy about this finish. And I'm just dejected. And then I have red lights on behind me instead of green lights, and I'm just pissed off and probably emotional. And you're probably still here, but I'm just more pissed off. That's all. So, but ultimately, what a great race. A mile and a half. Let's bring Chicago back. Chicago is identical to this place. Bring back Chicago. Get rid of Texas. Get rid of road courses. Just run on 1.5-mile tracks all the time.
Okay, but we'll add the Monster Mile. We'll do Bristol.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Martinsville, they all stay.
Yep.
But I mean, we're in agreement with restrictor plate racing at super speedways and all of that. I mean, I understand it's part of the game and all, and those are some famous tracks that you can't just necessarily step away from. But if you're into just pure wheelman, pure driving, it's the 1.5 miles. It's all that race for the first 2 hours has 2 cautions at the stage ends, and that's it. Right. And when everyone was at peace, it was some pretty damn good racing. Yeah,
it was. It was great racing.
Then that race just gets thrown. Everything is just irrelevant because of Tyrese Maxey scoring 7 points in 17 seconds. Like that's what happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, I needed a therapy session to come in.
All right. So who's gonna win? Who's gonna win next week at Darlington? I mean, Larson goes back to back. I mean, it's gonna be Larson Hamlin.
No, I already know who I'm gonna bet it. Name the long shot that I'm betting the second it drops. You know it.
Bell. Larson or who's Gregson?
No, you know whose track this is at long shot?
Oh, Jones?
Yeah, of course.
Well, is he racing?
He better be. He better get a gig.
Yeah. I mean, I think he'll be back. He's been approved to race. It'll be. I mean,
why would someone not give him an assignment? It's his best track by far.
Oh, by a lot. I think Gregson's going to be good. I mean, obviously Larson, Truex, Hamlin. It'll be a great race. It'll be very similar to this one. I imagine. We get another good race. So,
all right.
Yeah, Jones, old Jonesy boy.
He's a guaranteed top 3 at that track. If I have any sort of charter available, how do you not sign him off free agent?
You have to. He was good. I mean, he was good even when the 43 was slow. Like he was good when they were not good.
He's a Darlington ringer. He is the equivalent of Van Ginsberg of Darlington.
Yeah. Oh, he's racing next week for sure. I'm seeing a lot of people that are commenting, but
of course, if he doesn't race, he must have skeletons in the closet that he'll take to the grave like David Stern did with the NBA.
Well, I imagine.
How do you not let that guy get behind a wheel for this race coming up? And there's no Harvick there, so this is going to be
Harvick. Nope, no Harvick.
So it's wide open. If Jones isn't out there, it's a Larson. Obviously, it's going to be the names as usual. But who manages their tires the best and who runs the wall the best? This is Larson and Reddick.
Yeah, I think he'll be cleared to race. We have some people saying he's hurt, but he's going to race next week. But hey, man, thanks for hopping on. I don't want to take up too much more time. I got to go drink a beer and hang out with my wife. So
was that what those eyes were for? She's like,
yeah, like hey, when you it's your birthday today. I've been sitting at a computer for over 12 hours. So
let's go do something.
Yeah, let's go do some. But all right. Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. Cheers. Take it easy.
Adios.
Bye.